What's up, everybody? Happy to be here for Week 6 edition of the Power Rankings. The NFL is upside down. So many different things have gone differently. Obviously, the Bills lost on Monday Night Football to the Falcons last night. Seen some big movement for some of these teams and consolidation of the tiers as well. And the Super Bowl contenders, solid playoff teams, fringe playoff teams, teams that are still in the hunt, teams that are just trying their best, and then the abject terrible teams in the National Football League. So let's start at the top. Super Bowl contenders. Obviously, Packers stay up there. Solid enough win. Could have been better versus Cincinnati Bengals, in my personal opinion. They have some more tests coming up recently. I'm going to watch to see how they end up playing. Chiefs Lions back to back here. Obviously, Chiefs get a two-score victory over the Lions. I would say that they had a good performance, not necessarily as dominant as maybe the score would have suggested. Ultimately, their offense played extremely well, was able to limit the Lions defense, particularly on some key third down stops as well. An impressive performance on both sides by the Chiefs as they get back to 500. Now Rasheed Rice returning. Lions still have a lot of confidence in them, even despite the off game, I would say, in which they did lose to a very good team on the road. Eagles. Thursday night football, awful loss to the Giants. You could tell that they missed Jalen Carter. They missed Quinyon Mitchell, who ended up going out in that game, had difficulty stopping the Giants offense, and the Eagles offense right now has significant issues, and I have question marks about if they're going to be able to fix it. But it also kind of tells you the fact that they're still in this tier, that everybody in this league has question marks right now. Rams have an up and down game versus the Ravens on the road. Ultimately, really are in control of it. Now Puka Nacua is probably going to be out 1 to 3 weeks. They have the bye week in between two games. We'll see how long that's going to be. There's been a little things missing about, especially the dominance of the Rams offense, in my opinion, that should be better, but they haven't found that consistency yet. We'll see how things progress as well. Solid playoff teams. Buccaneers continue to just play very good football, get a huge win this past week again against a 49ers team that obviously has been banged up, ended up losing Fred Warner in this game. We'll talk about that in a bit, but I was impressed with the way that they were able to handle themselves in that game. Colts, hey, just another day, another victory for the Colts, ultimately handling business as well. Seattle Seahawks lose on the Seattle Seahawks are able to get that win in Jacksonville, an impressive victory for them as well. Bills, Monday Night Football loss to the Falcons. You can see some of the L's that they have in defending the run right now and the diversity of their offense. Josh Allen struggled again today, or I should say last night. We'll see how that continues to progress, if he can get back on track and if they give him some offensive playmakers. The safety room for the Bills is awful, by the way. Steelers. Just old game victory over the Browns. Ultimately, I want to move them up. It's something about their offense doesn't necessarily really hit me as far as Super Bowl contenders. The defense is fine. I wouldn't say great at this current moment in time. So right now, solid playoff team is the right way to put them. Patriots, obviously a nice win, being able to beat the Saints once again, just to continue on, and they are in a position again at top of the AFC East by having the tiebreaker over the Bills as it currently stands. Fringe playoff team, but they're pushing to be in that solid team mix. Broncos, an ugly, ugly game versus the Jets, especially on the offense side of the ball. Defense was predictably dominant as far as dominating the Jets offense, but I would say I wanted to see a better effort from them in London, to say the least. Falcons' big win goes up into the fringe playoff team as they deserve to be. Niners, with the loss, and again, the Fred Warner being out for the rest of the season is a massive thing for their defense. It was always going to be tough without Nick Bosa, but at least they drafted really well along the defensive line. This is an injury I'm not sure that they're going to be able to fully recover from, even as they look to get guys like Kittle, Ricky Pearsall, Juwan Jennings back in recent weeks coming up here. Jaguars, like I said, lose at home to the Seattle Seahawks coming off that big Monday Night Football week. It's still a French playoff team, in my personal opinion. They got a shot. Defense is, again, more solid than great, given the fact that a lot of it has been turnovers based from that perspective. Offense is fairly up and down at this current moment in time. In the hunt, Chicago, Monday Night Football on the road, beats the Commanders. I saw some positive things coming out of the bye week, specifically with the run game. Obviously, DeAndre Swift goes out there, has a really good game. Question marks as far as still the usage of some of their secondary pass catchers. I will say that personally, as far as the Zacchaeus amount of targets is a lot, but all things considered, able to get a win on the road. We'll see how they progress as well. Texans, obviously coming off the bye week after they dominated the Ravens that had Cooper Rush starting at quarterback. Interested to see how they come off the bye week. Chargers on the road, up and down game. Maybe should have lost to the Dolphins. Ultimately pull it out. I'll keep them in the hunt, given the fact that they have the issues that they have, specifically along the offensive line right now. Vikings coming off of their bye week as well. Commanders, like I said, lost to Monday Night Football to the Bears. Ravens going on their bye week, just praying that they can get Lamar Jackson back. I'm keeping them in the hut out of, trying their best because Lamar Jackson back on this team, you think that their offense is going to get back to a good level, and then they can try and go on a run. But starting from 1-5 is going to be incredibly difficult for them to get back in the playoff picture. Giants trying their best. Good win at home on Thursday Night Football versus the Eagles. I was impressed with what they brought to the table. Giants, I put them in trying their best, but I feel like they're going to be moving up into in the hunt. Jackson Dart and the way that Dayball uses him presents some advantages even without Malik Neighbors. And that defensive line is a great equalizer for them if they can get after teams in their trenches. So that's something to watch for them moving forward. Panthers at 500 after the victory over the Cowboys. Got to tip your cap to what the Panthers have been able to do. Bryce Young had a solid game. Hey, man, they're just there. We'll see how it progresses. Shout out to them. Cardinals tried their best, again, with Jacoby Brissett on the road in Indianapolis, made that a game that was very close to being able to be a Cardinals victory at the end. So they get a tip of cap to me. I don't know what this offense is going to look like with Kyler Murray instead of Jacoby Brissett, but that's something to watch moving forward. Bengals, again, traded for Joe Flacco, showed a little bit better signs of life on the offense. We'll see how things progress for them. It's better. Joe Flacco is better for them than Jake Browning. That is the reality situation, especially given how bad their offensive line is. Is it going to be enough? Something to watch. Saints, Spencer Rattler, competent starting quarterback. I will continue to say that. They lose to the Patriots, stay in trying their best, and then terrible teams. Browns, it's going to be tough sledding, and it's going to continue to be tough sledding. But there are young pieces specifically on this defense that should have you excited, which is nice to see. And I think that Quinshon Judkins is going to have an amazing game versus Dolphins, so that's going to be fun. Speaking of which, obviously Dolphins staying in the terrible mindset, even though the fact that they did play the Chargers competitively, I'll tip my cap to them for that. Raiders, objectively awful, even though that they get the win over the Titans from that standpoint. They're playing somebody in their tier, and that win as you expected. Titans fire Brian Callahan, first coach of the season fired. That's why they're down there, and that really sums it up. Always praying for Cam Ward to make it out of the season, okay, and hopefully get some help in the offseason. And then the Jets, Aaron Glenn and that offense, Justin Fields, Aaron Glenn and that offense had one of the most disgusting 2-minute sequences that I've ever seen in my life watching an NFL football fan. That was disturbing, to be perfectly honest with you. And the press conference afterwards didn't make me feel all that great about it. They should have won this game. They had many opportunities to, but the offense was so anemic they didn't even have a chance. So those are my Week 6 power rankings. Happy to have you guys on here. Check it out. DMW Sports. We'll be back with much more.